this is gonna be rough. Oh yeah. Almost there. All right. Hello and welcome to a evening edition of Mostly Pizza. My name's Ivan and I'm going to be showing you how to make a New York style pizza. It's been proofing about 24 hours in the fridge. I've actually let this sit for about 2 hours outside. Outside of the fridge, not outside out here. So that way it can grow a little bit more and also come up to room temperature. I've got my oven preheating here. We have it on the highest possible temperature right now to make sure we come up to temp. It's been preheating about 5 minutes. We're going to let it go for about 20 minutes. So I have the perfect amount of time to get to my dough here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually weigh this out because I haven't done that yet. I want 16 ounces of dough. This is about 28 ounces currently. So I've got my little scale here. I've got a bunch of flour here to help prevent sticking from my hands. But knew I was forgetting something. So I want 16 ounces of dough. So I'm gonna get my dough scraper here. I'm actually gonna liberally flour my surface here. Take my dough scraper. You want to get this dough out of the bowl. So we go plop and plop. Perfect. Set that aside. All right, so we've got our nice large amount of dough here. And we're going to do 16 ounces of dough. That's the goal. So I'm going to cut about 3/4 of this because I believe that is going to be the 16 ounces I need. I'm a little over. That's okay. That is 20 ounces. It's a bit much. Cut some of that down. 17 ounces. And 16 1/4. So that's perfect. Set that dough aside. This dough we'll use for a separate pizza at a separate time. Just curious how much it is. About 10 ounces, so that's probably good for about an 8-inch pizza or so. Not too big. So I'll set that aside. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to form this into a nice little ball. There you go. And this will be our New York style pizza dough ball. And so I'm not ready to use this yet. So I'm actually going to let this rest a little bit longer. So that way it can kind of combine and be all nice and put together nicely. But it's already very nice and silky right now. I'm going to just put this in a nice pillow of flour and let that rest while I prepare the cheese. Alright, so I have here about a little over a pound of cheese. This is low moisture, full fat mozzarella. So I'm going to go ahead and shred that up real quick. I have a nice little pie tray here. That's just one of my favorite ways to collect the cheese. That's why I like using the little pipe plate. Alright, so while we're waiting our dough to rest a little bit longer and our oven to preheat, we're about 700 degrees right now. We want to get it all the way up to 900. Turn the temperature all the way back down so that way it stabilizes around 600 degrees. But what I really want is that base to get super duper hot, which I can, that is hot. But what I really want is that base to get super duper hot so that way the bottom crust forms really, really quickly. I have some challenges here because I only have a 14-inch peel. That's the largest peel I have. So we'll kind of see if we can make it to 16. This will be my first attempt. It might get messy, but we're gonna give it a shot. So let's go over ingredients really quick. This is a simple sauce that I made last night. We've got about a pound of whole milk mozzarella, low moisture. We got some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. We got some freshly sliced pepperoni, and then we've got some dried oregano from my garden. Fun fact: if you have a bunch of oregano and it's getting to be wintertime and it's not going to keep growing, just hang it out to dry, and you have yourself some delicious homemade dried oregano. And that's it. This is a very simple recipe. All right, now we're ready to start preparing our dough. So I'm just gonna take my dough ball that's been sitting for a little bit and just make sure it's nicely covered completely in flour. We don't want this sticking to anything. And then I'm gonna dust my surface. This is a medium grind cornmeal and flour mixture, just to make it so it's easy to work. Remember, we're gonna gently put that right on there. It's a nice little pillow goodness. All right, so we're gonna start forming the dough. And what you do is you start from the middle, you push out. Again, our goal is to get to 16 inches with this, so we'll see how we do. But you want to just push all the way out and then rotate. Push all the way out and then rotate. Push all the way out and then rotate. And just keep doing that until you're at a pretty good spot. We don't want to use a rolling pin or anything like that because that'll push out all of the air. It's true that you don't want too much air in the pizza, but it's also a good thing to have air. So I'm at a pretty good point here where I can start using it with my knuckles to start stretching it slowly and let kind of gravity do some of the work for you. And if you want to get even more aggressive, you can start stretching it like that. Just be careful not to poke your fingers through it. You can even toss it up a little bit if you like. You want to get really fancy. And if we can't get to 16 inches this time, we try again tomorrow. You can also do this method. Seems to be working pretty well. Just do this as well. Okay, I think we just about made it. Patch that up a little bit. We're about, I'd say 15 and a half or so we're not quite there, but I'm just going to get started here. I'm going to go ahead and get my sauce. We're going to do one nice little spoonful of sauce. Start from the middle and make your way out. You might need a little bit more. Now you want to work quick at this point because the sauce, it is a thin pizza, and the sauce will make it a little bit soggy, which will in turn make it stick to the peel a little too much. So New York style pizzas tend to be a little bit saucy, so I'm going to try to replicate that here at risk of not being successful transferring it to the peel. We'll see. Okay, set that aside. That's done. Next, we're going to do our fresh oregano, sprinkled right on top of the sauce. I'm sorry, our dried oregano. Then we're going to do our Parmesan, just enough to get some additional body and flavor in the sauce. And then a healthy amount of cheese. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to transfer it to my peel like this. There we go. Relatively drama free. Again, this is a 14-inch peel. And we are definitely droopy here, which means that we're over 14 inches. So we'll see how this goes. All right, we got our cheese that we're going to throw on there. We want a semi-light amount of cheese for how big the pizza is. That's probably good. Just like that. And then we're going to throw our pepperonis on. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can. Alright, now let's give it a shot. Let's see how successful we are. I'm not super confident. Oh, first step, make sure you turn down the temperature all the way to the lowest. It is a thin pizza, so it'll cook fast. And so we want to give it all the opportunity in the world to cook. So let's see if I botched this or not. Whew, I am really nervous. Just shimmy it on. There we go. Not terrible. I'm actually pretty surprised and impressed right now. It's cooking really fast in the back. I actually had some burning. Some of the toppings fell off. Oopsies. You want to give it at least a minute here so it can cook. Again, it's on the lowest temperature right now. I'm actually going to turn it off just so the bottom cooks first, so we don't burn it. Woo! Look at that smoke. Alright. Let's give it a little rotator. Rotate this guy around. Oh boy. Oh, this is gonna be rough. Oh no. We've got a hole in the middle. Oh no. That's not good. Well, I can say the first attempt was a little bit of a botch. We're still going to try to remedy this because this is dinner. So let's see if we can do this. Ah, no! Ooni, I'm very skeptical of your claims. Wow, that's a disaster. Well, we've got about half of the pizza here. We've got this little tray thingy. Maybe this will help me at least finish it off. It's almost cooked. Almost there. And we'll leave it at that. Burnt as it is, I bet you it'll be delicious. Well, that was a bust. We've let it rest for a few minutes here. Kind of stuck to this thing that we used to finish it. It looks tasty. what's edible of it, at least. You can tell it's got to 16 inches because this is a 16-inch tray. Let's let's cut her open. See how this looks. I'd say 16 inches for Ooni is a little bit, let's just say, challenging. And partially my fault. Well, mostly my fault. But challenging in the sense that when it got back there, it was literally all the way on the very back edge of it. And it was so hot in the back corner. The disparity in heat in the back corner is so much compared to the front. The front didn't actually get a chance to cook enough to where you could actually rotate the pizza. So you've got the pizza in the back, which is fully cooked and burned instantly, as you can kind of see here. And then you've got the pizza in the front that was not quite cooked yet, which is over here. So you can't really get in there to rotate it because, again, because this is still too soft and still sticking to the oven base. So it made it very difficult. Is it possible to do a 16-inch pizza? I'm sure it is, but I just definitely could not be successful. Anyways, let's dig in to kind of see what this looks like. So, oh, actually this looks pretty good. So this is one slice. Not too shabby. It's got that nice fold. A little bit droopy. A little bit crispy looking on the bottom. Let's dig in, give it a bite. That's pretty good though. Or at least the slice that's fully cooked. So, some learnings. Maybe try 15 inches first. I think what I should do is, next time I'll use a little bit more flour, or I'm sorry, next time I'll use a little bit more dough, and make it so the crust is a little bit thicker and easier to slide in and out. So that way you get a little bit more opportunity for it to not destroy and completely eat out the middle like it did here. I clearly thinned it out too much in the middle. So, yeah, this is first attempt at a 16-inch pizza in the Ooni. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think I could have done differently. But as a first run, first attempt, I was completely unsuccessful, as you can kind of see here. So, I'll go back to the drawing board, see what I can do differently for tomorrow. But, yeah, that's the first attempt. As always, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you get a chance. And we'll be back for round 2 soon. The carnage.